Hey, what's going on, Trav? Welcome to my channel. So, over the weekend, it was very interesting. Remember, I keep saying the body is going through changes, and where speaking from the I statement, I'm being more conscious of what I'm putting in my body and on my body and stuff. I'm not perfect, so yeah. So I think, was it Friday? Decided to get some chicken shop because I thought, me and my friends were hungry, so we got some chicken shop, and it tasted real good. So then, after eating it now, when I went home, my body was basically just rejecting it. So like, it felt like it wasn't digesting, it was just sitting in my stomach, and then I was drinking a lot of water to try to flush it down, and it weren't moving, and I was just getting pains in my stomach and stuff. It wasn't nothing to do with the food being funny or whatever, it was just my body rejecting it, man. And it was like, alright, cool, because the last few weeks, I should say, I've been really good with my diet, man. Been trying to stay hydrated. I've been eating a lot of fruit, watermelon, as it's watermelon season. Like I'm saying, my body's just going with the season, should I say. So I've been eating a lot of watermelon and guinnep as well, Caribbean, it's like Caribbean lychees, should we say. So I've been eating a lot of guinnep, blueberries, and bananas. They've been my like kind of thing or whatever the last few weeks, which has been interesting. So yeah, when I tried the processed food, my body was just rejecting it, man, because I haven't had much processed food for the last few weeks as well. So it was just that a little shock to the system. The body was like, no, what are you doing? Kind of thing. So I was like, alright, cool. So I don't know if I'll be doing that anytime soon. And what else has been going on? Yeah, I don't know what's been going on energy wise, but my joints are just killing me. Like my knees are just, they're in so much pain, especially my left knee. I don't know what's going on with it. I've been stretching it, I've been putting castor oil on it. Castor oil is really good for people who's got inflammation and stuff. I would recommend it, because a few people told me about castor oil and I was like, oh, let me try it. So rubbed the castor oil into my knees, and I did notice a significant difference, so that was really beneficial. And I also got a dry brush to stimulate the lymphatic system, because I was reading up how obviously the lymphatic system is to do with it's like the fluid in between the muscle, the skin and the muscles, should I say. It's like in between, like, I don't know, just underneath the skin, and like it's quite vital because it holds a lot of information. What's it called? I think cranial therapy works with the lymphatic system as well. So I need to have a session done, because my mum's had a session done and she said it's really beneficial. But yeah, you can, it sounds like a bit like Reiki. You can manipulate the fluid to start flowing in the correct way and stuff. Obviously, I'm not sure 100% because I need to look into it more, but yeah, I got the dry brush to stimulate the lymphatic system, because obviously everything holds information. So you want to try unblock it and get it moving in the right rhythm and stuff. Because like trauma and stuff, it gets trapped in your cells, especially muscles. Muscles hold a lot of trauma, and your hips hold so much trauma and emotional baggage. So if you've got tight hips and pain in your hips, you're holding on to a lot of stuff. The last few years, I've been doing a lot of stretching in my hips, and a lot of release work, like emotionally, and I've noticed a significant change in my hips. Like they're more flexible, and there's less pain in the hips, which is really good. Because yeah, that's also what I'm trying to get into as well, stretching the body. Like it's the more conscious you become, it's very important that you start to realize it's about mind, body and soul. The connection is real. Like when you start like understanding how the body functions better, Like for me, if I the over the last 8 years, I know I've started realizing if I've got problems with my feet, because I tend to lean more forward instead of backward, like on the heels. So that's affecting my knees, and then my knees will affect my hips, and then my hips will affect my lower back. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's all connected. Yeah. So I've been working on everything, to be fair, which is really interesting. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on energy-wise, because I went to a protest on the weekend as well, which just to support the thing. I ain't been to one of them in all year. I went, like, 2020 was my thing, like all going constantly, and 21 went to a few, 22 didn't go to any, and then just went to support. But yeah, it was dead. Like a few hundred people come, but it weren't nothing like on a large scale or whatever. So that was quite boring. But I managed to see some people I haven't seen in like ages. So we just had a little check-in and stuff, which is interesting. But yeah, things are changing. Things are changing, and some people ain't aware of the changes, what's going down, like to do with the money, should we say? Once it goes digital, yeah, it's not going to be reversed, innit? So once it goes digital, you can say that's it, over, yeah? And then the problem is, yeah, if there's no cash, if the internet does go down, then you haven't got no money, yeah? So it would be a good idea to invest in materials like silver, gold, platinum, like things you can, like, that are solid, that don't lose value. If anything, gold is good, because I started getting silver, but gold is really good, but it's very expensive. So I went for the cheap option to get silver, because it just holds value, and it may fluctuate up and down, but not as much as gold. But yeah, I don't know. The energy outside just feels weird. Like, I was speaking to my friend at the protest, and we were just talking about, like, when you go to the protest and stuff, like, you meet people that's on the same wavelength as you, and on the same wave, like, conscious and aware of what's going on. And then when you step outside of the protest, you step back into the matrix, the 3D realm, where everything is mundane and routine, and it just don't feel normal. Like, people think that this is normal, and after 2020, like, we've kind of just gone back to normal and stuff, so-called normal, but yeah, this ain't it. But when you become conscious, you realize that it's the matrix is not the way to live, man. Because I was speaking to my friend, and he was like, he can't not hold down a job, but what was the word he was saying? I can't remember the word he was saying, but I was like, I'm the exact same. Like, they're basically just working you to death, basically. You're working, and trying to keep up with consumerism and stuff, and you're buying shit that you don't need to impress people you don't like, with money that you don't really have, you know? And it's like, say for instance, you got a mortgage, you're more out of the house than in the house, and then you're going to spend the last few years of your life in the house or whatever, and basically you're wasting your primary years doing stuff that your energy is not appreciated, basically. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do the exact same. Yeah, it's really hard once you're conscious and aware, because you're just like a label, you're like a barcode. Like, your time's not appreciated, you can be replaced and stuff. So yes, it's hard to try and work around it, because that you're in the matrix, you're not really appreciated, your time, and stuff, which is interesting, what we was talking about, because when you're talking to certain people just won't understand, and it's like there's more to life than just your 9-to-5 job, or things are so, like, I'm so done with the small talk, Like small talk is just not appealing to me no more. It makes me, it's like my body's rejecting that as well. Like my body's just rejecting certain things, and it's like, all right, cool, we're just going with the flow. But yeah, it's really interesting because things are really things are changing. Like on the outside, things look exactly the same, but on internal level and energy wise, things have shifted. Things are shifting. And it's funny to see how things are going to play out, because no one knows actually how things are going to play out. Yeah, with all this, a lot of it is fear mongering as well. And one thing I have realised is that so what they put out into the media and stuff, and certain agendas and stuff they put out, yeah, and the more people that pay attention to it and feed into it, make it actually materialize, yeah, if that makes sense, because it's a collective thing. So like most of the stuff and things that have been going on, they put it into films, music, they tell you what they're doing, and it's for us to accept it and let it slide, you know, because if a lot more people was questioning the music and saying, hold on, this is like sexualizing women, or what's it called, sexualizing women, and just putting out bad energy, should I say, yeah, we'll just go with the bad energy, I can't think of the word, but we've accepted it, like allowing certain things to happen, yeah, like just over the course of the centuries, we've just allowed things to happen, and they've told us or shown us what their plans and agendas are, and we've kind of just gone with it instead of resisting it, right? Because like I was talking to someone, it's funny how they're promoting a lot of rap music these days and mumble music. Like it hasn't got no inspiration to it, you know. But back in the day, in the, I think it was the 80s and all that, when reggae started coming out in England, they didn't want to play reggae music because reggae music, it touches the soul. And when you're listening to Bob Marley, like and stuff, it puts you in a whole different space. And even Extension said this, music is vibration, and you can be controlled by what you're listening to, and the frequency that the music have been recently put out as is low vibration, and it has an effect on you, yeah, if you're not aware. So the music that you're listening to these days, like the drill music and the mumble music, it's not actually teaching you anything. The beat's good and the rappers are just talking garbage, right, just to hold your attention. And it's like, that's exactly what a lot of things are right now, is just to hold your attention and distract you from yourself. That's what the whole aim of the Matrix is. They have things in place to distract you from yourself. It's like the Colosseum in the gladiator days, to keep the crowd entertained, right? While no one's actually looking at themselves. But a lot more people are looking at themselves right now. But you still have phones and films, music, materialism shit, that is all a part of the distraction to keep you distracted from yourself. Yeah, whatever takes you furthest away from yourself, that's what they want, yeah, because you don't know yourself, and everyone's heard of the phrase know thyself, yeah. Once you know yourself, you are God, should we say. Once you have a good understanding of self, you are God, yeah. You're standing in your power and you can't be swayed, right? So yeah, that's why they're doing everything they can to distract you from yourself. But sometimes sitting with yourself is not pleasant, because a lot of things will come up, yeah. And this is another reason why people can't sit with themselves, and they do anything to distract themselves. Going to gym a lot, becoming a workaholic, addictions, because they don't want to do the healing. Some things that come up will be uncomfortable and unpleasant, but the more you resist, the harder it will be, should we say. So yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, it's just interesting. Like we're literally just watching the collapse of Rome all over again, and it's just interesting. Yeah, and oh, funny enough, I think today, I don't know when it happened. It might have happened last night, but I just walked past the car, and it basically just was melting, and I think it was an electric car. So yeah, I don't know how the electric cars are looking these days, because that one, it was all burnt out. The screen was burnt. The wind mirror was broken and burnt and everything. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. But even with that, I was watching something and they want to go green, supposedly by 2030 or whatever, but the grid won't even be able to withstand all the electricity. So it doesn't make no sense, right? So yeah, they've got plans and agendas and stuff, but they're not really, they haven't even really thought it through, to be fair, which is funny. But yeah, we just got to go with the flow and yeah, see how it goes, because yeah, we're a part of the whole, you know. So whatever direction the collective want to go in, whether it's peace or destruction, we just got to kind of go with that, innit? But yeah, it's a choice at the end of the day. At this point in time, if you can't see what's going on, you're choosing not to see, because everything is so blatant, like everything is in your face. So if you're choosing not to see, that's okay. Everyone chooses to awaken at different times, but the things right now are just so blatant. So yeah, you just got to kind of go with it anyway. But yeah, I'm going to hit you guys up real soon. It's just about, this was just a bit sharing my mind and all that anyway. But peace, love and light, tribe. I'm going to hit you guys up real soon.